young black king, don't die on me. You my brother, you my keeper, I need you to keep an eye on me. And no more fighting on the streets, walking around with all this pride on me. Shit's tough for us already, know that you can still rely on me. Please, just stay alive for me. And my young black queens, don't quit now. You're the only ones that got us, I can never let my sister down. You've been too strong for too long, yet still you never sit down. Wow, that's the power of your love, and then it's worthy of a king's crown. And still you never let your kings down. Even though more time we don't deserve it. The picture isn't pretty, but it's perfect. Tedious question, so then I curve it. Serena or Venus, the way I serve it. I'm Mallory Blackman, the way I sell books. I jump on the stage and then the world looks. All that banging on my door had my girl shook. Like, sorry officer, I only sell hooks. Leave me alone. Every little head I talk, held it close to home. Live and you learn, they always hate me for my tone. For the shade of my skin and not the courage in my bones. Now I'm misunderstood and I'm feeling like Nina Simone. The way I told the world, who thought that I was Sims. See her on stage, I know that woman can be kings. I know that it's fucked.
Greetings, family. This is Manhood Academy, and we are going to be going live for the first time on the Instagram via into the YouTube. So, people, if you have the opportunity, please press that like button, share it, and let's see all the things that we can do within the Manhood Academy. If you have your boys, make sure they sign up with the Manhood Academy. As you can see down below, you can see the website link. Please make sure you engage and get involved and bring your boys, and we soon will be coming with the Womanhood Academy one day. So please, as I get ready, we're going to be talking about all the issues and all the things that we are going through right now. So peace and blessings. And hopefully you would enjoy the dialogue with our brother Kayinde and Sola, the story, as you can.
Academy ID card, official name tag. Big up Mr. Riggs in the building. My official card. Look at that. It's got my name on it and everything. Look at that. It's got my name on it and everything. I know you guys love this. I know you guys love it. Yeah. Peace and love to you all. Peace and love to you all. Yes. Oh, okay. Got here. Let me post that. Let me pin that comment right there. Let me pin that comment right there. Yes. I did hear. And legend John Lewis died at 80. A great giant has fallen, and may he rest in perfect power. Yes, John Lewis. I did hear about him. Talib Kweli, the rapper Talib Kweli, put him on his post. So sad times for that. I'm going to put that post up there. Yes, peace and love to you all. It's live. We're doing well. This is, of course, Manhood Academy official. We are in the building. We have a special guest who is going to be here in the building, is going to be here in the building too. So stay tuned. All right. So while we're waiting, okay. So this book right here, this incredible book right here. Yeah, this book right here. This book, Unforgiving Blackness. This is about the one and only Jack Johnson. Before this, I got this book. I don't know how many years ago I got this book. I got this book about 10 years ago. Before this book, I didn't know anything about Jack Johnson. So I got this book. This book was actually bought for my birthday. And this is, let's get our first guest on, who is going to come on right now. All right, connecting. So the connection is fine. So the connection is fine. Peace, brother.
Greetings. Yes. Man. All good, man. Brown.
No, this is how my study usually goes.
Man, you got the man with
It usually looks like this.
okay. All right. Is Sola checked in yet?
Not as. Please.
Yeah. All right. So what you got for us today, man?
Right, I just reviewed a book. Hang on, let me turn up my volume here. Yeah, I just reviewed a book. This one book here. I reviewed Jack Johnson, the heavyweight.
Mighty Jack Johnson. Before they got Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Bit this knuckling, man.
This guy right here couldn't read all right. Multi-millionaire. Brilliant. This I recommend to anybody talking about things they cannot actually pursue. But this brother here could not read all right, but he made it the heavyweight champion. Amazing. Thank you.
Well, I told you I got a special for you today. Yes. Got a special for you today. just got it special on order. It's from,
No, it's not got anything to do with lines, is it? In the title. Yeah, it's not got anything to do with lines in the title. Oh, good. Good.
Oh,
We don't want that. We don't want that. Oh yes, Sola is on. Sola is on. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, there you go.
Doesn't look familiar.
No, who is it?
It's me without my glasses.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. I just got it in the mail today.
Cool.
Just blessed and honored to be part of the Queen of Full University stable. So, Planet Heal. It's a book of holistic healers around the world by Queen of Full.
Wow. And you're in the book.
Huh?
And you're actually in the book.
Yeah, I took a chapter from my book.
Big.
By doing there, you've got Professor James Small. You've got some big heavyweights in there. So just blessed to be part of that build, you know.
Yeah. We're official though. We're official though. That's the thing. We've got to make sure it's correct. Yeah, but we're official. This is what I'm saying, because you see, you have to understand there's copies and there's the original. And there's nothing wrong with copies, you know. But people have to understand it is a copy. It's a copy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do counterfeit.
We don't do counterfeit. We don't do counterfeit. That's why I never was into pirate DVDs. I didn't understand them. I was never into pirate. In fact, I'll tell a lie. My sister said to me, what DVDs do you buy in pirate? I said, black ones. She said, but how are you then promoting the business or get making those filmmakers get box copies? And I thought, you know what? Gee, I stopped from that day. That was about a good 20 years ago. I stopped buying counterfeit DVDs. You know, make no sense. If I'm a man who likes film, I will go to the cinema and pay for the film, or I'll buy the DVD. So yeah, everything. Yeah, so we don't do counterfeit. Nah, we don't do counterfeit. I mean, we're official with this. How can we do counterfeit? I don't know anybody who would myself, anyway, but that's just me. Or just us. Anyway, so yeah. Malcolm X. Now, the thing about Malcolm X is that there's so many gems in there. There's so many gems in there. It's just amazing. I love this book. Really, really love this book. And I picked this up from Head Start book when it was about.
Officials.
Hey.
Live.
Bless it.
So we're across the platform now. Big up Terry in the background, in the lab. And also big up to Sola. Where is Sola? And there's one more thing. Yeah. Today we are completing our Manhood Academy quarantine sessions online. So our young masters are going to find a wonderful summer break, and we're working on summer camp. So yeah, big up to all the parents of Manhood Academy, the young masters who checked in every Saturday. They were resilient enough to keep things moving in these unprecedented times.
Sola said you can't hear, which one? You can't hear me or you can't hear Constance? Let me know which one you can. If you can hear
a new phone. So
yeah, no, he said I can't hear you. I don't know which one he's talking about. I have to big up Ife. I've got to big up Ife, who is in the building. I have to big her up. Big her up, and I want to big up Thames as well. Yeah, big up Ife.
In the country. Ife, let us know if you're back in the country.
Big up.
Instagram, Ife.
Big up. Now, someone says the sound is fine. Ken said the sound is fine. I was thinking so. Right. So big up Ife. That is a sister. Listen, she's on here. Ife, just put your Instagram and let people know about you, because that sister there is real. I first met Ife when she came to one of my schools in. She came to read a story, do a story, African story. So big up if they in the people. All right, your sound is low. Someone saying.
Okay, well let's get Sola on, man.
Let's get Sola on.
And I'm gonna go phone shopping today.
Phone shopping today.
Right, get a better phone.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, okay. Well, Zoom session, our final Zoom session. I'm just gonna get ready for that.
Peace.
The young masters. So blessed, man. I'm gonna get my herbal tea and tune into the Sola story, the mind of Sola, who I actually work with on a daily basis.
Blessed, yeah. Good person. Good guy. Good guy. All right. Big up.
All right. Peace out.
Peace. Peace. All right. All right. We are in the building. Yes. Let's see if we can get connecting with Brother Sola, who is in the building. You like my hair? Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, Sola.
Yo, Wagwan, Mr. K.
Well, you look sideways. Can you go? Yes, there you are.
Let me just see if I can set this thing so that it stops moving around. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Yes, King. Yes.
Yes, Sola in the place to be from Rebirth, from narrative mindfulness. Mindfulness in the building. And now I get to do an introduction to this brother because I know this brother for a hot minute, and he's always done some major work, not just in the school, but in the community as well, and a true superhero. And if you guys follow that you'll see that in a TV documentary called Fathers, about African Caribbean fathers talking about their life parents in the 21st century. But big up, for those who don't know you, talk to us. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so this is always the hardest thing. If you ask me to talk about someone else, it's easy. But when it comes to talking about myself, it's a different thing. So, where to begin? I'm often known as Sola Story because I'm a professional storyteller. But I'm a storyteller in the fashion of the old-time griots or jellies, in the sense that I make it my mission to learn about history, to learn about psychology, to learn about education, and then to use those things to tell stories that bring people together, that enable people to delve deep, to go deep, and to bring out things through community organizing and facilitation. So bringing people together for conversations, using experiential learning, arts, crafts, martial arts, because I'm an African martial artist too. So put that in there. And but if you really and truly, if I boil all of that down, I would just say that for me, it's about the young people. Always has been, always will be. I recognize that they are our legacy. And so I'm conscious of the legacy that I want to leave. So when I work with young people, it's all about engaging them, trying to get them to really engage with their deeper selves and understand that they are more than what is presented to them on the road, but not just the road, even in schools and even from their parents. And I'm not dissing parents, I'm just saying that often parenting doesn't involve the deeper universal spiritual truths that a person, the ancestors, if you like, and this life, so that we can bring it into the present and into the now. So I hope that's concise enough.
You're being modest. You'll be a modest man. I can tell you now. This book here is fit. I would say, with what Sola has done, it's probably two of these books, but that's another story entirely. So, Sola, when it comes to storytelling, why did you use storytelling as a medium to your work, not just in the schools, but in the community as well?
Well, two reasons. I mean, like you, I grew up in a Yoruba household, and my parents, they always spoke to me in proverbs, and my mum, when she wanted stories from the Bible, from the Quran, Aesop's fables, she would read books, but she would also tell me African stories. And my dad would preface nearly every comment with, Yoruba man says, and then he would continue, So I developed a love for stories and an understanding that the wisdom of stories was wisdom for life, and that it was transferable to any time and any generation. And then the second thing is, I noticed that a couple of years ago, I attended Buzzing Bee's birthday party on West Green Road, Uptown, and I was asked to welcome him in with storytelling and a song. And then I realized, when I saw the way the community reacted to the stories, that there was no actual community storytelling event on a regular basis. So with Buzzing Bee, Lady Essie and Theo, we decided to bring that into life. So we created Rebirth of the Griot, which is a monthly African storytelling showcase, which the community invited. Now we've gone online, but we've seen that we've been able to bring Griot, Chinyere, Sandra Aker, there's nothing. Alan Kamara. If I don't mention you and you're listening, apologies. But some of the best storytelling and spoken word talent, and it reaches people. You see, if I tell you stop doing what you're doing, you might get vexed because people have got ego. But if I tell you a story and leave you, and I just say that there may be something there for you, and I explain your situation, but in the character of somebody else. But it's your situation in the character of somebody else, and I show you the solutions within the story for that character, you might also gain the wisdom of that story for yourself, more than if I just tell you.
Right, so somebody said, if you can turn down your volume. Is that better? Hold on.
Is that better?
I think that's better. Yeah, I think that's better. All right, big up Mr. Andrew, King Andrew Muhammad, in the building. I have to get that.
King Andrew. Yeah, you keep saying this, but I'm sure that we met Andrew Muhammad at the same time.
No. I was at the Islington School, and you were there waiting to Dawn, and Andrew Muhammad was with you, and then you introduced me to Andrew.
Oh, hold on a minute. Were you at Ben when he came in and did the?
Yeah, that was after.
Oh, that was after.
Yeah, that was after.
Oh, see.
Yeah,
Yeah. Big king in the community, Andrew Muhammad, man.
Serious work.
Yeah, man.
He's about that life.
Yes,
You know, like the young people say, yeah, I'm about that life in a positive way. Now, Sola, you work with young people all the time. And you talk about, them not realizing even though it's a small step, what's it like for them?
It depends, because it's very varied and diverse. Now, in the African tradition, right, I believe in mentoring, and I believe in group work. And group work is powerful, as you in Manhood Academy, you know this. We will bring young people into a realization of themselves through experiential learning. So I'll do things like get a group together and get them to do a levitation exercise, where I think you've seen me do it, where they pick each other up using just their fingertips. And it really brings in an I can believe. But more than that, we'll use drumming. So right from the get-go, they get into the, if you like the word spirit, they get into the spirit of themselves through the sound of the drum. Then we'll use chord. The way I work is I incite people's imagination first. I inspire them first. And then after that, once their imagination is engaged, they begin participating. It's a short step from participation to commitment. So once they're participating, then we can bring in deeper work, deeper learning, deeper knowledge. And like I said, I believe in mentoring. So I'm not a person that will just do it by myself, always in collaboration. So any young person that comes to me, and I spoke to Mr. Sankofa the other day, actually, King Andre Sankofa, Mr. Konsu, when I had somebody who wants to do a rites of passage. Now I know that I can mentor that young person, but I also know that introducing that young person to brothers like you will actually enhance the experience, and therefore they'll be able to, would be lessons for life, not just because they like me, but because they start to understand themselves.
Sounds amazing. Now, you work in schools and you also do community work. How do you marry the two?
That's an interesting question, actually. Schools are not really geared up to educate people. They're not. Schools are geared up to regiment young people, to regiment young minds, to have them obey, to dumb them down so that they follow instructions, which is different from the work I do in communities. Now, in schools, when I've been allowed to do my own thing in schools, I've created circles with young people, and staff who are interested. And those circles are always about creative intelligence and genius. So we'll show them a few things that they can do together, which enable them to communicate better, learn to speak in public, learn to ground themselves spiritually, so that when somebody's cussing them and dissing them, that they can stay, if not calm, they can stay relaxed. So on their neck or holding them in cuffs and beating them, you know. So in schools, the emphasis is always on self-management. In communities, the emphasis is more on awakening your own genius, awakening your natural genius. And this can be done through so many things, like in maths. For example, if I want to teach you about rotation, I can get a piece of paper, draw a circle, divide it, say that's 90 degrees, that's 90 degrees, that's 180 degrees. Or I can say, everybody up, turn to the right, stop, do it again, turn back, do it again, say 90 degrees. So they turn and they say 90 degrees. Then they turn back and then they turn again, they say 90 degrees. Then they turn again and halfway they say 180 degrees. Because they're doing it with their body and using their words, it becomes part of their actual memory. So then after that, it's easy for them to remember these things. So in education, from a storyteller's perspective, is to recognize that we have always been geniuses. I mean, let me just go back a little bit. Genius, the word genius, G-E-N, is the same as it is an ancestral gift, our genius. And if you consider how many ancestors make up each individual, now you must know that there's enough genius in all of us. It just needs to be awakened. And one of the ways to awaken that is through self-belief and also through love. Lots of our young people haven't really understood their self-worth. They're used to being cussed, put down, to address some of those things that the young people learn, which is why you need uncles, or you need the Manhood Academy, or you need WYLA. You need those kind of groups to really get young people to understand and be able to say, I am great. Not because I'm a big head, but because I come from greatness. My ancestors were great. Therefore, greatness is within me. So everything I do in the community is about that. That's at the core of it. How to awaken genius and realize inherent greatness
in all of us. Amazing work, because that's where I want to touch this as well. There's been so much about education at the present moment in time of Black Lives Matter protest and what's come out after that. So and the fact that education for young black boys is still an issue. But it's also an issue for black education, which is also a way of a stumbling block. How do you get past that stumbling block as a black male who has a particular way of and a particular mind? How do you get past those stumbling blocks?
Because in the community I can collaborate with people like you, people like Dean Mackay who understand finance, people, because in the community there is such an amazing and vast resource. So when we work together and collaborate on things, anything is possible. Now in schools, it's a different thing again. In the school where I work at the moment, which is a school where, how to put this, the young people in that school, my brother, they are different. They've been aggressed upon, abused. I wouldn't say the word lost. They just do not know themselves. Now, these are not, on the whole, they're not even black youths. Most of them are white youths, actually. But they cuss, they swear. If you greet them, they will greet you back with bad word. And they all have ADHD, or they're all autistic. They're all on one spectrum or another. They all have EHCP plans. That means educational healthcare plan. It's what the statement used to be called, as you know. And it used to be the statement. Now, all of them can't sit down, can't listen, don't concentrate. But believe me, brother, every time I stand up in front of them and drum and tell a story, they're listening hard. It's like you can even see their ears throbbing. Sometimes as I start, they start cussing, saying, "Ooh, this is bleep, bleep, bleep," you know. But as I carry on, you just see them. They don't even want to be there, but they start listening, start getting drawn in, and then when the story is through, I can talk to them about life, real things that if I didn't tell the story first, they wouldn't even listen. But in that moment, when there's a kind of numinous energy that comes through storytelling, and it enables people's emotions to be quieted so that their minds can listen and their mind is their whole self in a way. So they start to suck in what is being given through the story. And honestly, bro, it's a physical thing. Their faces go from to
More relaxed.
yeah, more relaxed, and they start to become open. So then we can have discussions, group discussions. Remember, this is a school where people can't talk to each other without cussing. But then we start to ask questions, and they start to respond, even though they can't do these things. But the sad thing is, the school says, "Well done, that was a brilliant story, Sola. Excellent." But they can't go beyond that. They won't go into bringing creativity into the lives of us. Then they would learn English because their emotions would be more settled. They would feel more respected. They would feel more included. So, unfortunately, even though it's an inclusion school, that doesn't really include the whole person of the young people.
And that's probably one of the difficult things around it. And with storytelling, and also because you do teaching, it's more like a people, you do teaching of the young people, but you also do a lot of work with adults. How does it work with the adult? Because I can understand with young people, you know what I mean, children, and even up to the age of 18, 19, but when it's to, I don't know, 25, 30 plus, I think it's a different thing if they're being told or how does that?
Adults, on one level, adults are easier because they're not going to be everything already. So we think. So there's a lot of ego with adults. And the thing is, though, that there's a saying that children know how to play. Teenagers don't know how to play because they're too cool. And adults know how to play, but they've forgotten that they know how to play. So adults are so busy being serious about serious things, you know, the bills, relationships, and sending the children to school, that we all often forget about self-care and about self-evolution. So when I work with adults, I work with adults through creativity. So first of all, it's similar in a way. I will engage their creative self. So we use visualization. Again, I can believe. I will use collaborations between the adults in the groups that I work with, so that because the wisdom is always in the group. Let me just make that clear. It's not me. I say the ancestors will always find a mouthpiece. So as a storyteller, I'm that mouthpiece. But the wisdom is not mine. The wisdom is ours. So when I've got a group of adults, that's one of the things that I make clear. I set very firm boundaries and agreements. So there's no put downs of self or others. They're not allowed to cuss each other in my engagements. They have to agree to really listen carefully, to share reflections, to be willing to try new things, to participate fully. And those agreements, they create safety. Because adults are much more scared than children, you know, when it comes to trying new things. Adults are like looking around thinking, oh my, supportive environment. So the other adults support any adult in the group. Even saying, we support you, man, come on, do it. You know, we've got you. So it really encourages each of the adults to express their fullness. And then when they say something that the rest of the group consider to be wise, it really encourages them to say more, you know. And I will also draw out from a group those silent voices, the ones that are deep but don't say anything. But I get everyone to contribute. It's the best way to say it is you would have to come to one of my sessions. I've done a few community sessions in Haringey and in various places. You know, we both worked with rope, and you saw what I did there. I've been into Manhood Academy, WILA, and done a few things over time. And always the emphasis is on awakening genius. Kinde, as you know, African people, our genius it's unspeakable. It's too much. It is too much. When we are allowed to flourish, my gosh, what we do, what we can achieve, it can shock the world. And it definitely shocks individuals or a 50-year-old who never really engaged their own creativity except since when they were children. But since that time, they haven't realized that it's innate and they still have it. So I bring it out. But I always bring it out with respect to, it's not for you as an adult. It's not for you. It's for you, but it's for the youths around you. You have to be that uncle then. If you know that you've got this knowledge now, you've got to be that uncle, that auntie. You can't just bypass the youths in your community and say somebody else will do it. It's up to you then. Once you have the knowledge, it is up to you.
Amazing work. And also, adults and the elders that hurdle and that word change. Right, so you have done work before, a lot of that, even though now with coming out of it, things that happen, how and it changed your plan, what have you done? I guess about your work.
Actually, interestingly, it's kind of enhanced it. It's very strange. Because I'm a creative individual, I just make sure that whatever situation I'm in, I find solutions. And the obvious solution that represented itself was go online. Go online. And as soon as the lockdown started, I think the first week of the lockdown, I facilitated a group. They were the School of Communication Arts, which is based in Brixton. Actually, it's an advertising school, and it's not black. It's a diverse school. But I wanted to do that. I was supposed to be actually go. Would you be willing to do it online? And at first, when I heard that, I was thinking, "Oh, I can't do it, man," because it's about the physicality. The presence is part of it, isn't it? You know. So, but I said yes. I took the plunge, and he sent me the recording. And I looked back at it, and the engagement in the online platform was actually phenomenal. So then I just started to do that, do lots of facilitation with groups, with individuals, teaching storytelling, doing creative practice, doing all the things that I was doing physically, doing them online. But the thing about online is that venue hire doesn't matter. People can come, whether they live in South London or in Africa, they can still come. So I'm finding that in my sessions now, there's an international group of participants. It's no longer just people from Haringey or people from South London in different places. Event we did, in the event that I did on Monday, Sierra Leone as well. So this is it's really opening the world. And the thing is that even when lockdown finishes, I'm still going to be using the online platform, even to the extent that if we do physical events, there's no reason not to patch in an online guest as well from somewhere else. So yeah, it's and I'm also seeing that this is happening in lots of different ways. You yourselves are using this online platform now. Brother Andrew is smashing it, man. He's doing like free weekly platforms. You know, I don't know if you've attended those, but they're so much fun. I really encourage you to wait. He does some of that too. It is truly amazing. And doing that, and like what you're doing, what they do, what he does, it just inspires me to do more. You know, I was with a group of sisters yesterday. They were talking about not emotional emancipation, something around Black people learning to deal with the trauma of life, particularly in this time, and with racism, because you know that our groups often fail, not because of someone from outside coming in, but often because somebody said, "Yo, what did you do that for, you idiot?" And then the person's ego just rise up. "Who you call an idiot?" And then this group that was serving the community in lovely ways suddenly fractures, explodes from within. And this, I've seen this happen so many times, and I'm even part of WhatsApp groups where people will cuss each other in ways that make me say, in public. Big people, you know, big people cussing each other in public, and I have public platform, just do it somewhere else if you have to do it. And it feels to me that we really need to take stock of our own psychological state. Institutional racism, systemic racism has impacted us so immensely. You've probably seen the black doll experiment where the little girl is choosing the black doll is bad, the white doll is good, the black doll is ugly, the white doll is pretty. Which one do you look like? That one. You know, we are impacted. There's so much feelings of worthlessness, even amongst community organizers, feeling like we can't go and ask for what we need or demand what we need. We always go kind of like begging, bowl, please, you know, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, see why we can't have it. We're not dealt with that part of us. There is still that little child that is afraid of the big white man, you know, and that's with lots of us. So we were in this group yesterday, and that was encouraging that type of work is being done, that there is emotional emancipation. What Marley said, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. And we have within our African ancestry the means to do that. We've got the oracles, we have the drumming, the rituals. It's not mumbo jumbo, you know. It's spiritual science that Africans have. So it's not just belief. We practice, see the results, and then we do it again, you know. And psychology is part of what we do. So it's really one of the things that in community, I believe that we need to not necessarily go and practice Yoruba spirituality, but learn from it and take from it so that we can modernize it according to our situation here, use it to get out of that sense of inferiority that allows white people to play with us, really, in lots of different ways.
And then internalize it, and then we flow. And big up. Make sure you go on their platform, Instagram, and they'll be talking about big get the creator. He's gonna be on there. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Real McCoy group. That was key back in the day, man.
I actually want to turn off the lights. I'm going to one day, but I've got several minutes. Baba, Sola, you amazing, but not in this country. Talk to us about the countries and your work as well.
So, Africa and the Caribbean actually Caribbean was mainly, so I, as an African martial arts practitioner, but let me just go back. My African martial arts is called Kazimba Ngoga, and it's African origin. It's actually, the masters are actually Grenadian and from St. Vincent. But because I've been to different places in Africa, it is African martial art. Uganda, places that I've been to. And in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, Grenada, not in Antigua. Well, Jamaica and Grenada, actually. I've been to other places, but in Jamaica and Grenada, they were interested in what I was doing. So I ended up showing a few young people Kazimba, not by myself, but with my colleagues, showing them a few different moves. But in Africa now, by the time I got to Tanzania, when I was working with this youth organization, I was leading a youth organization, co-leading this youth organization in Haringey. We took youth to Tanzania. And it was there that I really came into my own as a facilitator of African knowledge. Because the Tanzanians, although they were in Africa, were very much trying to live a European lifestyle. And they weren't used to a group of black youth coming to engage with black youth over there. So the interchange was magnificent. And that inspired me to go on to different places and do work. So in Uganda, mainly though, in Sierra Leone, working with groups, building capacity with those groups, teaching them creative techniques, taking things over there to lead there, inspiring storytelling, consciousness of different forms. And last year was even better because I collaborated with Usifu Jallo, who is a storyteller extraordinaire. And he's from Sierra Leone. So we were able to do a little collaboration, which will be a bigger collaboration when we go next time, and with an organization called INADEM, which is a youth organization based here in Canada and Sierra Leone. I do here with communities. It's an awakening genius. And in Africa, it's even more important, or just as important. African children, they really want to learn, but the curriculum is not creative at all, not at all. So when they realize that they can be creative, it's like explosions happen, because they put that into entrepreneurialism ways. So I work with the teachers. I work with the teachers first, because I know that the teachers have to be flexible in order to allow the work to happen with the young people, you know. So that's what it's been, a journey actually of recognizing that the big man, the Oga, and the big woman in Africa, they're not interested in Afrocentrism. They're interested in Mercedes. They're interested in my son is a lawyer, a doctor, and an engineer. It's the money. And I don't know if you know this, bro, but in the Yoruba philosophy, back in the day, a person had to, a successful person was a person who knew how to raise their children, who knew how to contribute to their community, who knew how to engage in the spiritual principles of the Yoruba. Actually, the business person, the rich person, that was at the bottom of the scale of success. It's not that it wasn't considered to be successful, but if you had money, but none of the other things, you weren't successful, you know? And I think that that's also true today. It's about reuniting people with what we always knew, but which has been turned upside down. The last thing I'll say is, what makes me laugh, right, is that Europe talks about civilizing Africa, right? If you know what Europe was like in the 17th century, when they used to throw doo-doo on the open street and people used to be having plagues and famine was rife and street children were numerous, you know what they've done? They haven't civilized anybody. They've just given us that. They gave that to us. So now we have street children, famine, and pestilence of different orders. And they are protected from it through our herbs that they turned into drugs and through our lifestyles that they've learned from. We have been turned upside down. So what I'm doing, what you're doing, what Weiler is doing with Brother Andrew and the others is flipping it, turning it back. We're standing back, right knowledge and through awakening genius.
Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Sola, you've been right here. For all those who want to find you and want to see what you do on a regular basis, how can they find you?
You can find me online, Rebirth of the Griot, Sola Story, and that's on Facebook and Insta. Rebirth of the Griot, Sola Story, Facebook and Insta. You can also get me on Twitter as Sola Story. You can find me physically every month. We do an African storytelling showcase. I will send it to the Manhood Academy page so you can put it up. The next one is next Friday and it's online, so you can just log in. And also, you can book me through my website, and you can do it through LinkedIn, Narrative Mindfulness. There's a lot of ways, but if you get me on one of them, you get access to all of them.
Definitely, 110%. A book cover in several much cool. I remember I booked you for the East Side.
Cool.
Many East Side Academy.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Big Sola.
Yes,
what you are doing. We're going to let you go now.
Yes, King. Thank you.
All right. So, man, that was Sola. Inspirational as per usual. Don't forget, in 5 minutes, yes, 5 minutes, you need to log on to Westside Young Leaders Academy. You see, the echo is gone. I had an echo all through the interview. Now the echo's gone. Look. People can actually hear me. I bet people can hear me better now. I bet there's no echo now. I bet there's no echo now. Tell me there's no echo. I know there's no echo. Listen, I forgot to share all my book. If you wasn't here for the start, I shared this book here, Malcolm X Speaks, Selected Speeches and Statements, Festival Blackness. Yeah, Jackson Johnson, the first black. I told you, no echo. I know, no echo. Sola comes on and there's echo. You know what it is? But you know what it is? It's because the world of social media cannot handle the greatness of people like him having an interview about something righteous, something spiritual, something inspirational. That's what it is, you know. If me and Sola were talking about women in a derogative way, there'd be no echo. If me and Sola were calling each other the N-word, there'd be no echo. If me, you see what I'm talking about, culture? If me and Sola were putting down black people right here on this platform, you wouldn't hear no echo. Once we're talking about bigging up our people, talking about books, yeah, talking about these type of things, yeah, that's when there's an echo. If you like TV, and I do like TV, I like TV and film, this book here, Prime Time Blues. Yeah, Prime Time Blues. This is an excellent book, quite lengthy as you can see, but this is an excellent book about the depiction of black characters from the time he was on TV. Did you actually know? I found out from this book, did you actually know that when they first were putting together TV, when the first TV was in existence back in the day, they didn't actually think TV would work. So they actually put black people on TV and give them the show. And that's the reason why back in the day, black people had enough TV shows because they didn't think it worked. When they started doing, you can't give black people that type of platform, so they started pulling them out. All right, listen, I've got 1 minute and 56 seconds left. We have got another inspirational interview next week. Big guest, but you can see it on our Instagram page. Also, don't forget, if you like this interview and you want to share it, you can go on our official YouTube